Bayou Time Sports is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health System Community Sports Institute in conjunction with Barker Honda and Barker Kia.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Bayou Time Sports. We'd like to take this time to sort of reflect on the high school baseball season and what a terrific year it was for the Covenant Christian Academy Lions this past year. A team that set a state record 36 straight wins to start a year. They actually did that once they got past 30. There you see 36 wins. Unfortunately, one loss, and that one loss was a big one in the semifinals. But this is a team that played extremely well all year long. 426 runs scored in the totality of the year. That's 12 runs per game, 39 given up total in the entire year. And when you consider 12 of those came in that semifinal game, you cut that off and you're well below that 0.76 runs per game. 27 games this year, they've scored over 10 runs. They had a power ranking of 36.5529, which is extremely high for any single A team. And they were the number one seed going into the playoffs. But unfortunately, it only takes one game. And to win as many as they did in a row was really fantastic. It all came to an end last Tuesday, though, when they took on Ouachita Christian. I'm not quite sure what Ouachita Christian has on CCA, but they certainly are a thorn in the side, not just in baseball, but in football, have been in basketball too. It's a very good school. But remember this, folks, about Ouachita Christian. Ouachita Christian is a Class 2A school. They play in a Class 2A district. And that means that you're, quite honestly, bigger than what CCA is. So when CCA reflects on the season, certainly it's never going to be anything to hold their heads down about. They had one heck of a season. First, they go into playoffs with a bye and then totally just dismantle St. Martin's, where they shut out the team from New Orleans. And then in the second game, we hear that St. Frederick's got a ton of kids in that Monroe area who are going to be playing at the next level, on the collegiate level. And the Lions take care of them. 10-run rule, those guys, as they came down to home, and that's what you're seeing in most of these pictures. Those are pictures from that St. Frederick's game, which was held over at Southland Park, Joe Two-Tone Field, and just wasn't meant to be again. To win 36 games in a row in baseball on any level is certainly amazing. To do it on the high school level, it's sort of hard to wrap your mind around. And I was very fortunate to talk to Joe Two-Tone the day after the loss to Ouachita Christian. He said, we just didn't come out. We just didn't play well. And he understood that there are times that's going to happen to you. For those of you who are wondering, Ouachita Christian actually the next day lost in the finals to Vermilion Catholic. Vermilion Catholic was the number 2 seed, but you also get to that point where you're not playing the best 2 out of 3, and anything can happen in one game. And unfortunately, that's what's happening in single A baseball. You're not going to play those 2 out of 3 games. So if you have that one guy on the mound or that one bad game, which was the case for CCA, it sort of gets away from you. Nothing to hold your head about down if you are CCA. What a terrific year it was for the Lions this year. Let's take a look at how it all panned out up in Sulphur. Who is your champion for the state of Louisiana in each of the divisions? First, in Division 1 non-select, it was Live Oak. A lot of people would have loved to have seen a series between Live Oak and Catholic of Baton Rouge. Live Oak was tremendous this year. Did have a couple of losses on their record, but they were in 3-game series, and that happens from time to time. In Division 2 non-select, Bruley went up there and took 2 out of 3 from North DeSoto. Actually won those games quite easily. So Bruley, again, is your Division 2 non-select champion. In Division 3 non-select, it was Sterlington from the Monroe area. A lot of people talk about Sterling. Of course, Joe Two-Tone and his group know the Sterlington area extremely well, as in the summertime, they played in there in multiple Dizzy Dean tournaments. And then finally in the Division 4 non-select bracket, it was Oak Grove. Don't know much about Oak Grove, a North Louisiana school, but they win it all there. Then we go to Division 1 select. Catholic of Baton Rouge, 2 years running straight. Last year, they were actually the national champions. That's right, folks. There is a national champion in baseball they are named, you don't play for it. And it was Catholic of Baton Rouge who was named as your national champion last year. They win it again this year over Brother Martin, a team that actually Covenant Christian defeated this year. In Division II, Turlings Catholic, most of you in this area know that Turlings took 2 out of 3 from E.D. White. E.D. White had a terrific year this year, but unfortunately Turlings is just the hot team in that particular bracket as they win again for the second year in a row. In a mild surprise, Catholic of New Iberia wins the Division III select bracket. They won that over University High. University is really good, but Catholic High came up and took 2 out of 3 from University, so congratulations. That is a team that actually plays in District 7-2A, our local district that houses Houma Christian. So Houma Christian knows about Catholic of New Iberia. And then in Division 4 select, it was Vermilion Catholic. I mentioned them just a little bit earlier. They had a freshman on the mound who threw 88 pitches total in the state championship game. 6'4" freshman. Kids are getting bigger, stronger, faster all the time. And finally, in Class B, it was Pitkin, and in Class C, it was Ebarb. And I honestly couldn't tell you where either one of those teams is at, but we certainly congratulate them on winning state championships in Class B and C. Kudos to everything CCA did this year, just came up a little bit short. Gonna take a break. We'll be back with more Bayou Time Sports after this.
This segment was brought to you by Terrebonne General Health System Community Sports Institute in conjunction with Barker Honda and Barker Kia.